Hi, welcome to Scrapbox Expressions. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Mother's Day card, which is embossed with some embellishments and some wording that I placed on here. But before I get started with that, I'd like to just show you how you can strategically get a lot from a cut. So I designed a card previously that needed this frame and it needed 6 flowers. So I strategically cut this down to 4, so it's 4 by 8.5. Lined them up, made sure that this border would be equal to when I trim right here so that I can get the frame, and that's the frame that I use to make this card. If you don't have such dies that can help you get a frame, I'll show you a quick fun way to make your card still look cool. All right, so what we're going to use today, and do forgive me because before I decided to do videos, I didn't take or keep record of what I was ordering, but I believe I got this on Amazon. I probably typed in like family word dies or something. This is a Simon Says Cosmo, the company Simon Says stamp, and it's the Cosmos flower. So that's what we're going to work with today. The embossing fold is from Cuttlebug and a Griffin. It's also a poppy. So we're going to use this, and we're going to use the Brilliance pigment ink. Now, the note card that we're working on is a 5.5 by 4.25. The layer that's going to go on top is a 1/4 inch shorter, so it is 5.25 by 4, and that's what gives us this border. So I'm just going to run this through my Gemini. I just stuck it right in the middle. I didn't look for lineups. If I had the whole page, there would be like a border here that I would have to trim, but because I trimmed this beforehand, it's gonna land where it may. So that's that. Now sometimes I run it through twice just to make sure it's nice and embossed, because sometimes it's light. I'm gonna give it a check and see if I like it. I don't like it, so I'm gonna do it again. Let's see what this looks like. Yep, much better. See all the detail. Before it was pretty flat in some places, so I just wanted to make sure the whole thing embossed properly. Perfect. Now this is a pretty flat gold, so what I did next was just take this and rub it over on the raised side, because here's the impressed side, and I'm sure it'll look cool on here. Let me see what it looks like. Yeah, it looks nice on that side. I don't know if you can see the hint of white on it, but I'm gonna do it on the raised side because I prefer that better. and it makes the flowers pop and stand out. So it almost creates like a foreground. Then I'm gonna glue this on, center it right here. And once I'm done, I will center the frame around that. So let's get the glue on here. I always go as close as possible to my edge without spilling over, because I hate to see when the edges of cards are sticking up when you put on borders and stuff. And then I always put some in the middle, because sometimes that raises up too. So that's just to secure everything. Okay, so now that that's on, I'm going to add our frame. So we're pretty much going to line this right up with this. You can also put the frame on before you glue on that piece in case there's anything that you want to trim. When I first made this card, I had to trim just a tidbit of the gold paper. So if that's the case for this, I already put it on, so I won't get to trim it, but it should be okay. Sometimes I just gotta get an extra press to make sure this stays in good. Okay. Now I'm lining this up with the gold piece. I'm gonna just press it down. It's always good to keep a tissue nearby, because well, for me, when I do those presses and the glue comes out, it gets on the board and then it'll stay in the back of your card. So just a quick wipe down. All right, now the flower I cut it twice. The first time I only cut the flower and I stopped it near the stem. And then the other time I cut the stem part so that I could have this green. I'm gonna glue this on top of here and then attach it to the card. Sometimes it could be tricky to line them up, especially since it's so small. And if it's easier for you to just cut it off and just stick it close together, then do so. This piece pops out, which is really cool, but I'm going to keep it flat because I'm going to put some rhinestones on there. Now, on my previous card, I put individual letters, but I forgot that I had this, and I think this is so much prettier. So I'm going to place this mother there instead. And someone had asked me about swapping out the words if they wanted to give it to a grandmother. And that set that I got, I believe on Amazon, and forgive me if I'm telling an untruth, but I think that's where I got it because that's where I purchase a lot of things from. Comes with grandmother. So I'm not gonna glue this on, but I'm just gonna put it on there so you see what it will look like with the grandmother attached. And the cool thing about this set, it comes with daughter, niece, aunt, granddaughter, like it's all there. I think it even has Nana. So yeah, it's cool. And it fits right in there nicely. All right, I just was checking. Sidebar. So that's going to go here. Then I'm going to put some red rhinestones on there. Not rhinestones, sequins. Sequins have become my best friend. Used to be rhinestones, but me and sequins, we have a thing. Yes, ma'am. And I'm generous with the glue to make sure they hold. The last thing I want is to send out a card with things falling off. All right, and there we have it. So that's how this card was made. If you liked what you saw, if you learned a thing or two, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Oh yeah, I did say I would show you how to do this if you didn't have a frame. So let me show you that before we go. So using strips, and these are 1/4-inch strips, are a fun way to create frames. I frankly don't like to go through the hassle of cutting them in terms of trying to make this edge line up with that edge. So I run them off of the page. So they will just overlap like so. I'm not going to glue it, I'm just going to show you. So you get cute little corners with some inlets. So if you do that and then you trim it, it'll make your card look really amazing. So that's another option. All right, now for real, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.